Hello everyone, I'm Mohsen. I'm here to talk about an additional package which can be installed on top of Autoware software. And this package is a bit different than the planning simulation. As you can see, there is two planning simulation. I'm actually targeting the second one that can be found under the tutorial section with the name of scenario simulation. This package allows us to simulate open scenario language based scenarios. So the package named actually scenario simulator version 2. You can search through internet and find it separately, find the repository separately. The installation is a bit tricky. After you install the Autoware, you can download the repository inside the source folder and install it. But there are some complication, and sometimes maybe you can't install it correctly on the system. But hopefully in future those bugs can be solved, and you can easily install two packages. I mean the Autoware itself and the scenario simulator on top of that together. So let's go and talk about the scenario simulator itself. So you can search through Google scenario simulation version 2 and go to their web page. There is a separate documentation about their tool, and best part of that is actually there is an online tool for generating those scenarios visually, and you can find the documentation here. Just go to their documentation, and under scenario editor overview you can find their documentation, web auto official documentation. But just in case, consider that you have to install or follow the next step based on Google Chrome browser. So it's really important that switch from Mozilla to Chrome to not facing with any issue. So by take a look to their quick start guide. When you click on the official documentation, you will go through the quick start guide. Here you can find out what's new here, and how you can generate a simple scenario with their tool. So their actually address is here, so you can click on this to go directly to their toolbox, online toolbox. But just in case, you have to sign up for using their service. So I imagine you already done those steps, and now you finish here. So this is the toolbox, and there are a bunch of settings here and tabs that allows you to do different stuff. So this middle area show your map, but the first step is now we need to load our target map. You know already there is an regular map. All of the Autoware tutorial is based on that map, so we are going to use that map here. So click on the map, load map, and then we have lanelet 2 map. So but the important part is, where did I find this map? So going through the scenario simulator version 2 repository from tier 4, you can find there is a folder Kashiwuna map. So inside the Kashiwuna map there is a map folder. Inside that map folder you can find lanelet 2 map OSM that you can download it from here and use it for this purpose. This already is inside the scenario simulator package, so you can find it in both ways. So this is our map, and today I think it's good to have an intersection scenario. So I'm going to create some sample as an interactive scenario. Let's just first start by adding an entity here from edit menu, add entity in ego. So I put my ego here. It automatically correct the direction, and this is the left side driving. So just in case and for you need to select this object. It's already selected, but you need to select each time the object, and then those options are enabled for that specific object. So we are here going aim for defining an destination for our ego. So ego destination is set now, and then it's okay. So we need to, in the opposite actually direction, we need to define two different NPCs. So just here at entity NPC, one is here, and destination for that NPC here, another NPC on the opposite lane, and then destination for that NPC is here. Okay, great. So as I said, we need to define an interactive scenario right now. As soon as I fire the scenario, I simulate the scenario, it actually allow all the object start the navigation. This is not the the goal that we had. So we are going to define different condition for NPCs to move. So it's really important. So it means that we are going to make them interactive based on the ego behavior. For instance, for NPC 1, we plan to move the NPC whenever ego reaches a specific position. So let's do that. For doing those things, we need to create an action. So here you can find out under scenario, add new action. Let's just name it act 1. Okay, so we need to define an actor. We have NPC1 actor, and then click on NPC1. So the start condition for this is the beginning of the scenario. So this action begins in the initial state of the scenario. So, and something that I forgot to mention here, after we define all those objects, we need to change the NPC1 and NPC2 initial condition. So we need to remove the initial pose and destination, because later on we are defining those based on the actions. So we have to put none. So I didn't approve here, and for the destination approve. So this was for NPC1, and as well for NPC2 none and none. So okay, so we don't have any specific point. As you can see, our object is now smaller. The identification is now smaller for car 2 and car 1. Okay, so this is really important. Otherwise it shows an error that you already have set twice, for example NPC1 inside the scene. So let's go back to our action 0. So here we already defined a start condition for action 1. Now it's time to define an event. So the event is a start NPC1. The start condition is reaching to a position. So for reaching to a position, we need to define a specific position. It means that we have to create a point. Okay, so imagine whenever ego is reaching to this point, okay, point 0, NPC1 try to navigate. Okay, actually start to navigate. So let's define it here. So we don't have any event yet. So event is a start NPC1, simulation time, reach. Instead of simulation time, we switch to reach position condition. What's the point? Point is this one, point 0 position, and trigger is ego. So whenever ego is reaching to that, tolerance is 1 meter is fine. Okay, and just click OK. So this is the condition, and after defining the condition, now actions. So for actions, we have to define our action. So first of all, we need to create the entity. So add entity mpc1, and the initial position car1 pose was for mpc1. This is the initial position, and then we need to create a routing for the MPC. So routing is pose 1. Yes, that one. We can use checkpoint, but let's just change it to goal point 1, and okay. So that was for MPC 1. Let's try to create another action 1. Previous was action 0, and this time is for MPC 2, and that can be, yeah, this one is a start condition. Let's try to start it from the beginning of the scenario, but for the second step, which is event definition MPC2, start MPC2, we can rely on a timing condition. So simulation time, let's just define it as 8 seconds. After 8 seconds, this condition will be satisfied and the actions are executed. So here the actions, first add entity mpc2, now this time is mpc2, and car2 pose. Okay, and let's create again the routing. Routing is here the point 2, which was for, so this route point 2 was for mpc2. Okay, so there are two different criteria here for success and failure. You can as well try to define different criteria. One of the criteria for success is reaching position ego to the final position point, route point 0, which is the destination. So as far as ego reaches to that destination, it means that the scenario is defined. But the failure, you can see for failure there are collision with MPC1 and ego, and MPC2 with ego, and simulation time, which is 180 seconds. So these are the criteria that you can define, and based on that criteria you can evaluate your scenario. So right now everything is finished, and you need to just export the scenario. Go to scenario tab, export, define, for example, Mohsen 3. Okay, and export. Okay, now it should download the scenario. Let me to check it. Okay, so here is the download scenario. So let's open the download scenario. So you can see the format. You need to change some of the part of this extracted scenario. One of the main element here is the address of the map that the scenario is using. So it is really important to create an absolute address, direction to that map. Right now you can see it's just the name, because we exported from the online toolbox. It doesn't understand where our map is located. So it's really important to just find out from one of the sample scenario, sample YAML file. Where did I find this sample YAML file? So I will show you again inside the scenario simulator package. You can check that there is a test runner. Inside the test runner there is scenario test runner package, and inside the scenario test runner package there is scenario. So here there are some sample scenario. One of them is sample.yaml. So I'm just opening that file for you. So this is the one that I already opened. So you can find it here, and you can see it is the correct address because we already installed the scenario simulator package. So it goes to the shared folder inside the install directory and find it from Kashibuna basically folder, which is located there. So we already opened the sample YAML file and Mohsen YAML file. You can see this is the wrong address and this is the correct address. So we just copy that line and put it here, paste, And this is important. That's not important. You can as well remove this line because we don't use PCD file here. And another feature that I'm going to talk about today is ego true. So this actually is the difference between whenever you want to run the scenario with Autoware, completely Autoware itself, it should be true. Is ego should be true. But whenever, like now, for me, when you want to run it, you can put it on false, and then it doesn't run the Autoware itself. Instead, you can just simulate it inside the RVs. It basically follows the Autoware rule, but not run all the package from Autoware. So it's much easier for those specifically who don't have enough hardware resources. So I put this item, this attribute, as false. So you can easily find this is ego inside the scenario definition. So save the file. So I have to put the file inside another folder because I create another folder because I'm running Autoware and scenario simulator package all in one inside a Docker container. So I already included Autoware map as a folder inside that Docker container. So I'm right now inside the Docker container, and inside it doesn't matter inside the Autoware map. So let's just check out the previous comment that I've used. So you can see what kind of command I'm using. This is the basically sample command that you can find inside the Autoware tutorial page. You can check out. I just removed some of the parameter because today I'm actually going to simply run the scenario. So it's really important to remove those that is connected to Autoware, but at the end I have some additional part. One is output directory, which you can define it where to put those result out after evaluation, and as well you need to launch RVs and put it true because you need to put you need to show the scenario simulation, otherwise it doesn't show anything. So this is really important to have it. So let's just run it, and you need to enable for some. Okay, so there is some named act, so perhaps there is some problem regarding the definition of act 1. So I'm going to check it here first, the scenario editor. This is act 1, and this is as well act 1. So yes, for some reason it actually doesn't make it correct. We can modify it inside the text editor. We don't need to again export it from there. So open the scenario file, YAML file, go down. So you can see this is the first one, the story act 1. So go down, and that's the second one, yes, for MPC2. So you can put act 2, for example, yes, here, and then save the file. And let's go again here. Yes, the scenario name is true. Let's see, and then here you need to enable. Okay, so sorry, I opened this file from my download folder. I didn't move it to another folder, so I need to copy it from here again, copy and paste it to that folder, replace. Okay, so just in case when you are inside the Autoware map, it doesn't matter if you're inside the Autoware map or not, but it's really important to address the output directory like this, from the home, your username Mohsen. For me is Mohsen. For you it might be different. For our student is Autolab. So it's important to correct the address of the output directory as well for the address of the scenario. You can see the address right now here. And then launch rvis is true, and so let's run it again. So you can see now you need to enable this because the default is not enabled. So whenever ego is reaching to this position, probably those MPC1 is starting, and this is the MPC2 is starting by time. And let's see. Oops, and crash is happening. So let's go back to the Autoware map folder. There is a scenario test runner because this is the output directory, and automatically it actually writes the output of or result of the scenario here. This is the conversion of the scenario to the open scenario language, so we don't need that, and this is the results file. So let's open the result file, and you can see the result file here, and it shows that there is a failure. One of the failure criteria was collision, and this is the output of that collision. So the collision happened, and the collision is with MPC2. So this is the outcome that you can evaluate of the scenario with this tool, and it's really important. Just in case, remember, if you want to run it with Autoware itself, you have to switch back the this attribute to true. Is true. So for my case, because I don't have enough resource right now, I use the false option here, but you can switch it to true, and then the Autoware mission planning is running as you can see on the tutorial, and it's much how can I say, different than this one. This is much more simpler. Okay, thank you so much. Hope this will be useful for your case and you enjoy from the tutorial. Bye.